Hey everyone, how's it going? We're back. We're back on Victoria Free because we need to we need to complete our Trump run. For those of you who are new to the Trump run, it means mostly tariffs, but also going back and forth on tariffs to see what the economic effects are. And last time we invaded Greenland, we've also generally chosen the fascist option when you have to make a political decision. Generally speaking, a fascist option with a hint of realpolitik. You know, you can't. Sometimes you got to do what you have to survive in the game. But I think it's been a pretty Trumpist run. We're playing as the UK though because that is the superpower at this time. Hello, Floyd. How you doing? So it is loading. No, okay, it's going to go not responding. Then it's going to load like it always does. So the net effects of it so far have been when I first took over Britain in 1836. And I put 30% tariffs on everything. GDP tanked. Living standards went down. There were a lot of radicals. We've had political unrest. We haven't had like a full-blown revolution, I don't think. I think we got close, but then, yeah. Even if it had happened, we would have defeated them like militarily. Then I took the tariffs off, and I do think that benefited us, but we were already growing. I think by the time we came to the second round, when I put the second stream, when I put the tariffs off, we'd been growing already, and then that growth kind of continued when the tariffs were taken off. It's difficult to see the change in the trend if you look at the graph, but yeah. But now I'm going to put the tariffs back on and just run it out, see what the fucking hell happens, because this is yeah. I do find with Vicky 3 it gets less interesting as the game goes on, right? In the sense that less happens. Which is partly a marker of success. But yeah. Tariffs on your GDP. Well, we put it'd be nice if you could put tariffs on more things. If you could put tariffs on like science. In reform land. Hey, look, I'm in London, man. London is like... We should probably secede. Just leave the rest of fucking England to rot in reform. Shall I tell you what really worries me about reform? It's that they'll outflank Labour from the left. That would be a very clever move, and Nigel Farage, like it or not, is pretty clever man. If they just said we're going to have a wealth tax or quite a lot of social housing or some big gesture towards the NHS, although I don't actually, I think they're more of the mind for an American healthcare system. But something like that, right? They could potentially do that. If they do that, we're fucked. We'll literally just have national socialism. The EU5 reveal. No, what's that? What's EU5? I'm blanking. Oh, good afternoon from Portugal. Hello. Hello from the UK. Tudo bem? They're far too libertarian brain to commit to. I've heard Nigel Farage endorse social housing. I can imagine a nationalist model of public services which expands funding for natives. That would be like fucking catnip to the electorate. Remember, the modal British and especially English person thinks something along the lines of hang the immigrants, fund the NHS. He does want to privatise the NHS, though. That is true. I will. Yeah, that's he's bad on healthcare in terms of electorally as well as substantively in terms of outcomes. But I'm saying they could pick an issue. Social housing would be a big one. Wealth taxes would be another one, because that's quite a new one, right? That's like wealth taxes are kind of at the top of the agenda now because of people like Gary Stevenson and like Piketty. Low organisation. Come on. Wait, what happened to all my fucking influence? Timed modifiers. Oh, we've had an event, haven't we? We've had a goddamn pesky event. I've had insufficient construction for investment pool. Switch to produce more construction. I think let's build more construction, but that's the first. We're not actually. Come on, switch on, everybody. We're not doing this properly. All right, construction. Hey, where is it? Oh, there it is. I can't fucking read. Okay. So if it... Mate, I might just knock out 10 of those. 10 of those. Economies of scale. All the good stuff. Come on. No, not that. Alright. Right, let's go. It might be difficult because they're obviously sponsored by like hedge fund managers and stuff, like the same ones who benefited from Brexit, right? Like that's who benefited from Brexit. And famously, wealthy people are completely unable to see the forest for the trees, so they won't compromise with something like a very small wealth tax to preserve their position over the long term. They'd rather push everybody until they get fucking assassinated. Which isn't an endorsement. It's not an endorsement of anything that one might want to do in one's spare time. Whale, hello. Welcome to the stream. Oh, well, we've got Russians, we've got Portuguese people. I wish I could say, how are you in Russian? But my linguistic skills are limited because I am, after all, English. Between them, Labour and the Democrats are like... If you've got like the crudest Marxist take on politics in terms of class interests, and like the crudest Polanyiist take in terms of capitalism leads to fascism, you do pretty well in the US and UK, wouldn't you? I think like the Dems and Labour both in their own way seem to be trying to prove that. They just are more scared of like raising the top tax rate 5% than they are of like the far right. Cactaella. Cactaella. Cactaella? I don't, yeah. Just me showing that I can't do a Russian accent. Right, what's going on? What's going on? Come on. Come on, let's speed it up. Let's speed it up. So we did invade Denmark at one point. Should we invade them again? Can we make them assimilate? The thing, we went to war with Austria And we did damage their standing in the... One second. We did damage their standing in the among the great powers. Because I think they were like 4th and now they're 6th. Thanks to us, Austria. We invaded Denmark, but we didn't assimilate them, really. We didn't... No diplomatic demands. I don't even know if it's been 5 years since I... Does it have to be 5 years since you invaded someone? Surrender to Denmark and give them all our land. That'd be quite a move from Trump. I'd like that. Feels just like we're governed by Denmark now. I've had enough. The only reason Social Democrats were able to extract concessions in the 20th century was the existence of the USSR. I partially agree. However, you do have to remember that the world isn't the USA and UK. You've got this whole area. Kind of down here as well. Even here. Here's where things get a bit murky. Not really sure what's going on here, but generally speaking, mainland Europe, continental Europe, is more social democratic than the Anglo countries, the English-speaking countries, and persistently as well, right? Man, it's crazy how much the construction buildings take out of your budget. Look. It progresses a week at a time, right? So, wait. So we're on 49k. 49 and 42. So that was like 6.3k for one construction sector. I think, yeah, we'll keep doing it. Available decisions. Should I just... Denial expedition. Whoa, whoa, whoa. A group of strong candidates have expressed their interest in leading the expedition. However, this is not a decision we should make lightly. Alright, who's this guy? Bro, mate, I just got so many expenses. This will teach me to click everything that appears. Expedition budget permanently. Man, I don't know who these guys are. I don't have enough. Alright, let's just go to the top one. Federate Australia. Confederate Canada. Alright, get us some... Oh my good lord. Look at what I've just done to everything. Look at that. Fuck me. Alright. I might have to increase taxes here. Have we got a bit of authority? Let's... Should we put a tax on opium? Yeah. Let's put a tax on opium. I mean, that's not going to do that much, is it? That's better. Right, I need to build some fucking government. Man, have I just taken control of... So I have to own them all. Mate, what? Why has all my bureaucracy, like, disappeared? Federate. What's the difference between federating something and confederating it? This is where I learn about politics through Paradox games. So... I've got too many radicals to reduce the level of the... police. Let's go to... buildings and build some... government. The thing is... Right. Government administration... I mean, that's going to cost me as well. Plus 65 bureaucracy. So I need to build basically 20 of these. Right, whatever. The thing is, it reduces your ability to collect taxes, so it's a bit of a vicious cycle, right? I am also in debt, although that's not that big a deal. Alright. Alright. Hi, Luke. They are basically synonyms. Did they... Synonyms. Did they only say Confederate Canada so that it would be alliterated? I do... So... But the point is, Restia, that since the Soviet Union has disappeared, social democracy has persisted. I know there's been back and forth. There's been some right-wing movements in Sweden, for instance, but I don't... It's not like the welfare state and worker control and everything is withering there. Maybe compared to, like, when we thought they would turn actually socialist. Children working in the motor industries in Yorkshire have suffered injuries trying to operate the machinery used in production. The new industries need all the employees they can get. Well, we're doing the Trump run, so make the children work. The children yearn for the mines. The expedition embarks. After a few weeks of preparation and travel, the expedition led by Gawthorne Kalpa Temple has arrived in Zanzibar. That is such a posh name. From here, they will begin their journey to discover the elusive source of the Nile River. Well, hopefully we can do some colonialism in Egypt or whatever. Make up for... Whoa! What just... Mate, what is going on with my budget? Oh, is it... It's because... One second. Timed modifier. Surveying Suez. So that'll disappear once we actually finish. It said indefinitely in the thing. How is this low organisation? Just promote this guy. The latest report from the expedition is that several of the crew have come down with cases of dysentery. One member has even died. I don't mind them resting because we're investing in government bureaucracy there. I need census suffrage and universal suffrage. The thing is, the path to liberalism is quite anti-Trump, I think. Confederation is less centralized. That does make sense. Confederation, yeah, more of an impetus from the individual states to organise and create assemblies versus federation being imposing some kind of central authority. Egypt has a cautious attitude towards me. They're probably right. Palestine incorporated state in Egypt. Just going to steer clear of that one for the purposes of this stream. Steam Donkey. Ooh, that's good. Realist art. Seems like much of a muchness. Bourgeois patronage. Independent artists. I don't think the arts academies really matter, do they? Smooth bores. Alright, let's upgrade, let's upgrade. What are we saying here? Steam trawlers, not enough qualifications. Fishing trawlers. That looks good. Steam donkey? Okay, let's not. We won't do that in the lead mines, only in the iron mines. Steam donkey in logging? Okay. Industrial port. Not enough qualification. We need more education, don't we? We're getting to that stage. Steamships, no. Reinforced wooden ships, that's good. Fine. Sulfur mines. Atmospheric pump. Condensed engine pump. Nitroglycerin. Blow the children up. Steam-powered whalers, whaling fleet. Rhinoceros sighted. A rhinoceros has been sighted nearby. We could stop the expedition for a short while to try and claim its horn as a prize. Now let's not get distracted. I can't be arsed with this fucking rhino. Oh, hi, Redros. Paraguay. Hola, mi amigo. Wait, so we got Paraguay, Russia, and Portugal, among other countries. I think Floyd's from Sweden, right? Doing well. This is a very international stream. Urbanised British Republic was completed. Well, well, well. Winds of change. Lancashire has come a long way since our attention was first brought to it. Going from small houses and scattered farmlands to being on its way to become a blooming metropolis. Urban centre throughput. Let's get plus 25% loyalists. We need... Look, we're doing much better. Like 20 years ago, this was the opposite way round. What happens if I reduce taxes among us? One of the expedition members has been caught stealing more provisions than needed under the excuse that he's ill and needs more food. We need every single man. Let's just leave it. I don't want to rock the boat with that expedition. Okay, I've got enough organisation now. I probably don't need to build any more government administration buildings. I mean, that one's almost done, so whatever. I've got master's offers from the unis of Oslo and Helsinki for applied mathematics programs. How possible is it to go into economics research from that? I took no econ courses in undergrad, and how do I tell if the econ departments are based or not? That's a good question. I think with applied maths, there tends to be quite a different focus. So a lot of applied maths, from what I remember, is focused on like differential equations, ODEs, PDEs. Economists actually don't use those that much. It's more about constrained optimization, which I guess depending on your module choices you might do in applied maths. In fact, you probably will, but the bottom line is that all of this stuff is treated very differently in economics versus in physical sciences that applied maths is typically focused on. So I would say it's not that easy a transition. Not because you wouldn't be able to understand it, but just because it's not necessarily recognized as a relevant qualification. And you're making it harder than it should be for yourself. So, innovation, let's do it, yeah, because we've got enough bureaucracy there. Taming Amazonia. Currently in our possession are vast tracts of pristine, undeveloped Amazonian lands. While some laud its wild beauty, others see naught but an untamed frontier overflowing with rubber, longing for the gentle touch of progress and capital. Of course. Develop it. I'm slightly confused by... Right, I'm going to actually stop collecting luxury taxes on... The other question, how do you tell whether an econ department is based, is... the answer is that most of them aren't. I would expect that in Norway things are better, but not that much better. So, yeah. I don't know. There's only a handful. I think if you go on websites like Reteaching Economics, if it still exists, or Rethinking Economics, they'll have a guide to which universities are like more pluralist, if that's what you mean by based. Can invite country to power block. Well, I can invite them. They'll all just reject me. Right, come on, Guatemala. No? El Salvador wants to conquer the British Republic. Even for that intention, I should fucking invade them, man. Let's have a look at them. We're actually quite infamous. I don't want to push it too much because everyone hates us already for fighting Austria. The existence of the Chicago Pope implies the existence of the New Keynesian Pope. Yes, I've seen that. Also implies, yeah, the existence of a Marxist Pope. Does it though? Maybe it's just Chicago and New Keynesian. Maybe I shouldn't try and build on that joke. I'll just make it worse. As the expedition advances, the lush jungle reveals an unlikely sight. Members of the Lost Expedition lay sickly in improvised hammocks. Ooh. This would only delay us. We could never trust a band of Frenchmen. Sharpen your knives. Man, we've got to kill the French. I can't, you know. If there are any French... Oh, my infamy 0, you're right. I think I've got over... But this will increase it, right? Right, come on, El Salvador. Expel diplomats and... I want regime change. Right, come on. They shouldn't have said they had an intention to invade us. One member of the expedition has suggested that we stop at some of the nearby settlements and try to hire some local guides. Other members of the group have expressed concerns. This might take a while. After a few hours, some guys have been found and payment has been settled on. Good. Okay. We're doing well. With low peril. Are these expeditions new, or is it like... Should I mobilise my armies? Probably. I don't think I'll need to raise conscripts to invade El Salvador, will I? The Abundance Agenda by Ezra Klein. Yeah. I've heard of it, but it's like... It's that book that came out, right? And I'm like... Vulnerable front. Yeah, I know it's vulnerable, but like... At the end of the day... I'm not at war with them yet, right? So I can't... I mean, I'm still mobilising. Right, anyway. I've heard of the book, but I just... It's one of those things where I was like, you know what? I'm just not going to speak about this ever. I like Ezra Klein. I've been watching some of his videos on Trump. I've known of him for a very long time. I think he's an interesting guy and his heart's in the right place. However, I cannot be bothered to read his book. But what I mean, who's read his book in chat? Chat, give me the lowdown. Should we build some munitions plants? They're unable to hire. In Lancashire. Why are they unable to hire in Lancashire? It's the bloody Northerners, isn't it? They wouldn't know a good day's work if it hit them in the face. Oh shit! Did the USA just side with Salvador? Oh, oh fuck! 1 second. All right. 1 second. Fuck. I didn't sway. I forgot to sway them. Shit. Attempt to sway Mexico. Is there anything I can do? I mean, they hate El Salvador probably too much to side with them, so it's not a problem. Oh dear. Oh dearie me. Got ourselves into a right pickle here now, haven't we? I think that last army is basically a placeholder. I should maybe have looked at their allies. Look, there's no time for any of that. That's what fucking the woke pointy heads do. They want you to like look at what you're doing and figure things out. Decide on whether something's the appropriate course of action. I'm not about that. Oh dear. Yeah. Could be fucked. Could be fucked. So what the fuck is this abundance thing? Look at me trying to chat like I'm some kind of Hassan Abbey. Look, Hassan and I have a lot in common. We both wear chains. We both love a 9/11 joke. We're both sellout socialists. Oh, it's hiring. Right, let's get some more munitions going. Oh, oh. Unacceptable government. Anything I can do? Since when did that happen? Enduring flood started in home counties. Yeah, dear. Oh, not that one. This one. Man, I can't believe I'm at war with the United States. The thing is, they have so much population. What's my, oops. If you pay the military more, what happens? Morale recovery. Yeah, I mean we're gonna have to do that, right? Ezra thinks that things are inefficient, so he supports deregulation of industry. Why would you do that? Doesn't make any sense. Unless you're like econ brained and you think that deregulation is necessarily more efficient, which, I mean, there are obvious examples where that's not the case, right? So with something like consumer guarantees, people can feel safer, more comfortable buying something. Like if they're allowed to, if they're allowed to return something, then almost. Madras army. Just gonna promote this guy. Why can I not move him? Whoa, okay. Mate, what about these guys? They're gonna... What I don't understand... What I don't understand is, which countries can... which armies... I don't think that one matters, right? Which armies can move and which can't? Why do they need to plan a naval invasion? Cannot reach sea node in... Okay, so what about these guys? Can they plan a naval... Okay, so they can. So... Oh, select. Traveling to... Okay, so they're right, okay. So that works as well. Right, okay, so... And then... Those guys are already moving. These guys... why? Okay, so I can't move that army of the Mediterranean. What do I oh, they're still mobilizing. Okay. The book examines the reasons behind the lack of progress and ambitious projects in the United States, including those related to affordable housing, infrastructure and climate change. But that's not necessarily from a... That doesn't imply deregulation, right? Why is this army less mobilized than it was a second ago? Okay. So... let's get some... artillery, cavalry... Too many? What do you mean too many? Fine. I don't think we can recruit any more conscripts. What's this? Trade route importing ammunition from the Spanish market is inactive. That doesn't matter, that Sierra Leone front. So I would argue that there are some issues with zoning laws specifically for housing. I do think that's true. I don't know, like, the idea, and it is a very neoliberal idea, that this is what's holding America or any other country back, seems a bit of a leap to me. You know, clearly... just allowing private developments with no requirement for social housing and no direct provision of social housing can result in like gentrification and the displacement of poorer individuals. So you've got to bear that in mind. At the same time, some of the zoning laws are mad. Just not good. Fully mobilised, yes. Wait, no, so, okay, right. 1 second. Where are my little navies? Portsmouth, Plymouth, and Mediterranean. So these guys plan a naval invasion of Nicaragua, stationed... I don't know why these guys can't move. That's what... No. Why are they completely stationary? That's crazy to me. One available mandate. I'll leave the mandates for now. Right. Harvest condition. I can't... So the Army of the Mediterranean, are they just not allowed to move out of the Mediterranean? That would seem... I mean, I know that's their name, but that seems silly anyway. France swayed. An unexpected guest. As the expedition encounters a group of suspicious traders, one of the men claims to be a new Grenadine ambassador, kidnapped by these mercenaries. Right, this is fine, it's fine. We're not in a rush with the expedition. We might want to improve relations given what's going on. Military assistance. Yeah, wherever gone. Can somebody tell me how to use this army? Because I don't know what the problem is. 48 out of 20. Weekly cost. Attrition. Oh, Suez Isthmus is complete. It would be possible to construct a canal linking from the Mediterranean to the Red Sea. Must acquire... Right, fine. We're going to build the Suez Canal. Good. Great. Oh, I see. The US is... One second. The thing is, if we force El Salvador to capitulate here, they're the ones in charge of the war. Therefore, we can undo anything that the US says, and we'll probably do some kind of white peace or something similar. But I think they'll yield before we do. I've just got 43 fucking battalions sitting here doing nothing. Why do they keep mobilizing and demobilizing? I'm so confused by that. Yeah, exactly. Some regulations are bad, others are good. It's incredible, isn't it? Incredible insight, much economy. Here's a question, everybody. Something that I've been, like, thinking about. Not losing sleep over, but definitely thinking about while I was trying to fall asleep. How often do you listen to, or when was the last time you listened to one of the, like, bro podcasts? So I'm not talking like your extreme ones, right? And I'm not talking your consistently political ones. So I'm not talking like Andrew Tate or so. I don't know if he specifically has a podcast, but Fresh and Fit, Andrew, you know, all that kind of really horrible extreme stuff, Nick Fuentes, whatever. I'm not talking about that kind of stuff. And I'm not talking about like Ben Shapiro or Jordan Peterson or something. I mean like the sort of politics adjacent bro ones. Like, so you could include Joe Rogan in that, although he's at the extreme end of it. But like Dan Huberman, Diary of a CEO, Chris Williamson, modern, what's it called? Modern wisdom. Those ones. Have you listened to one of those recently? Because every time I listen to them, because I get linked to them by people I like, otherwise, and I actually can't make it through them. But then, like, for me, that feels like a problem for me, right? Because I'm thinking, well, I've gained a new mandate. War with Nova Scotian Reactionary Revolt. Oh, dear Lord. I mean, all we need is one little... But it's a problem for me listening to stuff like that because I can't understand why anyone... Do I need to get to a closer casino to... So if I... deploy them there, will that do anything? Or actually... If I go there, maybe they'll fight. Oh, do I need to... Is it these guys getting in the way? Oh, I see. These... Okay, so the Mediterraneans are landlocked. Ah, so I see, because they're actually in... Maybe I do need to transfer them to another army. To the 5th British Army. All. Why doesn't that work? They can't reach... Okay. They're literally just trapped in Austria. Okay, so what do I do with Austria? Oh, the problem is that Austria hates me. I don't have enough influence to improve my... Oh dear. Okay. Man, if I had that army, I'd be doing much better. Yeah, Theo Von, like some of it's, you know, some of it's about like health, other parts are about health, well-being and fitness, other parts are about politics, other parts are just like chatting about whatever. But I cannot make it through one of them. Any of them. Like I tried to listen to 2 Chris Williams podcasts in the past month or so. One of them was when he got a happiness expert on. Arthur Brooks. I made it like 10 minutes through, and this Arthur Brooks guy, who as far as I could tell just wasn't a biologist, he was just saying stuff about what love does to the chemicals in your brain. It was about happiness, right? So it was about like falling in love, being happy in your relationships. Okay, fine, whatever. I don't mind listening to somebody generally speak about those things, and sometimes you get something out of it. But he just started going straight into bro science. You know, there's different phases of chemical releases in your brain when you fall in love, and I was just thinking, dude, who the fuck are you, mate? Like, why should I believe? And they just say it with such confidence. It's like, how can you possibly know that? I mean, I've actually worked with biologists, and they just would never be that confident about something like that. Something as amorphous as falling in love. To think you have the chemical trail of that mapped out, and you can tell people how they fall in love, let alone what to do about it and how to change their behaviour, which brings up a whole bunch of other questions. Anyway, I got about 20 minutes into that one with Arthur Brooks. One of the pack mules we brought has wandered off into the undergrowth. We could spend some time tracking it down or simply move on. Just, yeah, come on, let's get this fucking expedition done. So do these guys start warring? I think I literally have to invade Austria again to get my army back. Come on. We're doing it. If we can impose this on them, we won't actually have to fight the US properly, right? This is what I'm talking about. It's boring. They're not saying anything. Have you guys seen that podcast? I've only seen it like through like reels and TikTok or whatever, like shorts. But it's literally a bunch of 12-year-olds, like 12-year-old American lads, who are talking about like their favorite type of pizza. And it's just not, and I mean, it's funny. It goes viral because it's like, it's so shit that it actually goes back around to being funny again, like The Room or something. But what, okay, let's promote, man. So, man, Jesus Christ, dude. So, I can't see that much of a difference between that podcast full of 12-year-olds and something like Joe Rogan or Chris Williamson. I just think the level of insight is so low. They speak for hours. Like, if I'm going to listen to somebody speak for 3 hours, especially when they're billed as an expert, right, do nothing but have a conversation. Like, I want it to be two historians with different views, two, like, experienced historians with very different views about why the Roman Empire collapsed. Right, like that. I can imagine listening to that. That sounds fucking sick. But not like, what? Some kind of reality TV contestant and like a guy from a think tank who has never researched biology or happiness or whatever and now thinks he's got everything to say about it. And the other one I listened to on fucking Chris Williamson was Critical Drinker. He's a YouTube guy, right? Critical Drinker. He's on I will at least trust 12-year-olds talking about pizza to not be grifters and giving their honest takes. Yeah, exactly. It's harmless, right? It's ridiculous, but it's harmless. This shit does not feel harmless. The bro science stuff. I feel like it actively harms people by giving them bad advice. I feel like it replaces traditional media where you have actual journalists asking people with expertise and authority actual questions. And I feel like it promotes terrible politics and far-right ideas and conspiracy theories and all the rest of it. Yes, regime change. We did it. We made them capitulate. And now you will see. Now you will see, British Columbia. Oh dear. Do not revolt. What's this saying? Dangerous equipment. We've just had a war win, so we'll give the proletariat a little bit there. It's weird how the US has a genial attitude towards me. Right, I need more influence. Where's these timed modifiers? Unfulfilled treaty obligations. How do I access my treaties, everybody? Diplomacy. Truces, humiliation. Subjects. Fall of Civilization pod is one for empires collapsing if you're into that. There's that other one called Empire as well, isn't there? Which is really good. It's a couple of well posh Brits, but they're like they know what they're talking about. They got a good dynamic. I don't listen to loads of podcasts, but I can't. So anyway, let me talk about the Critical Drinker. So he's a YouTuber, right? Like Critical Drinker. 1 second. $2.2 million subscribers. This could change the film industry forever. Why The Last of Us is falling apart. Thunderbolts gave me the Marvel cringe. Revenge of the Sith humiliates Disney Star Wars. The message is dead. Snow White was the funeral. So, I mean, I think you can see what this is, right? Basically, it's like anti-woke, anti-Hollywood type stuff. And, man, we do not have good options for government, do we? Oh, dear. Dearie me. Mate, that's... Oh, dearie. Okay. But he went on Chris Williams' podcast or whatever, and it was crazy. Basically, their explanatory variable is woke. And they attribute almost everything that's going on in the film industry to it. And they very rarely mention, like, business, profit, and capitalism. Except kind of as a good thing, or as an inevitable thing. So they can't analyze current Marvel slop as like being a result of monopoly. The fact that Disney's been able to buy out literally every fucking franchise, that they can just churn out slop and get away with it because there's no proper competition anymore. That it's costly to innovate and try brave new art, and that's what you need actual, you know, decentralized art for, and artists with funding who are able to try new things at a you know, a granular level, at a bottom-up level. That it's much more profitable for them to just produce another Marvel film, which may get panned critically, but will probably make enough money. Like, literally none of that is in there. It's just woke. And even that, like, something that's woke in the sense of being, like, something which attempts to be anti-racist, for instance, but does it in a very cringe way, which a lot of these Disney films do, to be fair. That is also, like, just PR from a company. I don't know. Anyway, they just fucking piss me off. Like, their analysis is so terrible. And I think I had to turn that one off when he, the Critical Drinker goes... At one point he was like, there's... they were saying body positivity has come to an end, and like plus size models and stuff. I don't know if that's true, but whatever. And he goes, yeah, but think about how much damage it's done. He was like, think how much damage... like, think how many influencers have died because they were fat and nobody was allowed to tell them so. And I was like, dude, think about, like, how many? Tell me how many. It's fuck it. Like, they just say things. It's amazing. Like, how many people have actually died? That's a very specific causal claim. Do you know what you're talking about? How many people have died because of, like, being bullied for being overweight? How many people have died from anorexia? I don't know. Anyway, whatever. Probably none of you have watched it and none of you need to, but I just... What I need to know is, like, how do we reach the audience that actually seems to enjoy those bro podcasts? Can we? Nile River expedition completed. The Thorn Kappa Temple has returned triumphantly. The source of the Nile River has been discovered. So it turns out that the source is the Great Lakes of Africa. Yay, prestige. So where does prestige... It's very Sargon. Guy used to do like sarcastic media reviews, but went full on anti-woke pretty fast. Yeah, that's the pipeline, right? They just end up... That's what they do. And they're not brave enough to criticize the status quo in any meaningful way. Or they're too stupid to do any kind of deep analysis. Should I do some societal? Corporatism. Shift work. Should we do steel railway cars? Because we are famous for our trains. Very Sargon. It's like, he gets a lot of views, right? It's algorithmic as well, isn't it? Because it's like, yes! Good. Don't try and revolt against the British Empire, you won't win. Lowering consumption. I still can't. This is a mad goal. Iron, coal and steel in British market 20% cheaper than their base price. I don't even know if any of them are lower than their base price. Let's have a look. Goods. Iron. So there's coal. Plus 12% higher. Iron. 5% lower. Steel. 14% higher. Rubber. Oh, we can use rubber. Have engines in the British market 50% pricier than their base price. I bet engines will be like much lower as well because we're producing them for en masse for export. Is that engines, right? 16% higher, yeah, but 50% higher. Those are mad goals. Hassan is how, but his grasp on econ, for example, is iffy at best. Not that it is the only important issue, but still. Yeah. Yeah, I think someone like Hassan, who I quite like, in general, is... I mean, firstly, he's got streamer disease, so he's prone to saying just, you know, outrageous things for clickbait or whatever. So, but let's grant him that. When I see him talk about economics, which is rare, I'm just like, dude, shut up. I think people tend to just, on the left, like, they don't really like economics. They think that economics is just some kind of capitalist conspiracy. And then they fall back on... Like, they think the whole idea of economics is, like, some kind of capitalist conspiracy. And then there's, like, a few horrible traps, right, for people on the left who are either they go into, like, some kind of vulgar Marxism where they're just, like... Well, you know, capitalism just means labour getting exploited, and labour getting exploited is bad, therefore we should abolish capitalism, with no exploration of whether that's true and what exactly that implies. Then there's the more vibes-based kind of anarchism, where it's like, you know, I sell coconuts, I sell Nintendo systems. Sorry. I like making Nintendo systems. I like growing coconuts. Let's trade coconuts for Nintendo systems or whatever. Some kind of like there being basically no economy, but everything is just vibes based. People make things they want to make, and that somehow matches up with the needs of the society, including like advanced technologies like Nintendo's. And then there's central planning, right? Then there's just like, oh, the Soviet Union wasn't so bad. Let's bring back central planning, which strikes me as historically illiterate and economically illiterate as well, and politically a complete non-starter. You know, I know the right are red baiting you, but don't just like double down on it. Soon after their triumphant return, the expedition led by Gathorn Kalpa Temple has been denounced by France as rumours escalate about the participation in their lost expedition's fate. You step down, they have no way of proving it. Let's antagonise France, because they're annoying me. How many... What are you saying, France? What's their army about? Battalions. 222 plus 160. Nah. They've got more battalions than us. The Critical Drinker and Mauler are two of the worst media critics in the world. They are convinced that art is objective. Huh. Really? Do you mean like they've explicitly defended that position, or that that's something that you've inferred from their content? You saw BE call him out and found interesting the amount of comments they got to be through Hassan, actually. BE call who out? Hassan? Or like Stalin and the nice Soviets ever did bad things in general. Yeah, it's like, it's just the tankyism, right? But it is... There is just a temptation, isn't there, on the internet to slip into that very extreme rhetoric. And I don't just mean extreme in the sense of like violent, although that's true if you're a Stalinist. But I mean like extreme. The vibes-based anarchism is extreme in the sense that it's like, wow, we literally don't need economics. Because I think you're just trying to naysay literally everything the other side says. Like... Clearly, any vision of socialism for the future is not going to be one that's heavily draws from 20th century communism. I don't think. Except in a, you know, broad... Well, as lessons learned about what not to do, obviously. I never took an econ class, just a history of economic thought class. My takeaway was, have economists ever seen a human being before? And wow, this rational self-interest actor theory is shit dumb. Like, is all mainstream econ bad and wrong? No, but underlying theories about humans seem to be very off. Yeah, I agree with that. And I think also it's the central framework that you learn as an undergraduate, then you reaffirm as a graduate, and which is like the default that economists apply to various situations, right? And it's like, it's so obviously wrong. I quite like to zoom in on this. I like the, look at that horse going through the buildings. They could do with working on their animations there. Hassan was their exit out of the right, yeah. Yeah, like... I think that's true, right? And like, much to my... As much as I hate to admit it, Destiny has served that role as well. It's fucking complicated. It's a fucking complicated ecosystem. I mean, to be honest, you know, burnt. The internet was a mistake. Like, as we know it, the internet was a mistake. I think that's the conclusion that I would draw. I don't mind typos. Okay, so what are we doing? We're... Oh, shit. Should I tell you what I literally... Should I tell you what I did? Or didn't do? I completely forgot to put fucking tariffs back on everything. Right, this should be good. I literally gave an introduction at the start, telling you what I was going to do, telling you the plan, then I didn't do it. Opium. Hey, coal. Do 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 do. Okay. Sugar. Whoops. Tobacco. Dye. Groceries. Tea. Silk. Steel. Clippers. Small arms. Fertilizer. Hardwood. Meat. Is there a way to do this just to everything? Is that... Am I... Oh, sulfur already has a lot of tariff on it. Coffee. Oh man, I've... Lead. Gold. Let's put tariffs on gold, guys. Right, remember this day. This day will go down in history as the day the tariffs returned. Engines. Whoops. Explosives. Yeah, to be fair, yeah, that was quite Trumpian to forget what I'd said and not do it. That's a good point. That's what I did. I think one thing that really bothers me about like economics and the left is if you can't name a time that you changed your opinion about an economic theory, event or policy because of data. Rubber has been successfully grown. The fragile nature of these trees and their difficult to meet conditions make this achievement exceptionally important. Yeah, if you haven't got that in the locker, and I don't mean you have to name it like right here, right now, but just think about it, then either you haven't really done very much economics, which I guess is fair enough if it's not your subject. That's one thing. If you're not really too into economics or you're new to it or whatever, that's one thing. That's okay. But if you are, and like what you believe in terms of, again, theory, history, and policy is just the same as it was 10 years ago, you can't think of a time you've ever changed your mind. Then for me, you're just not doing economics well. You know, and it would be the same with foreign policy or the study of history. Anything that has an empirical element, right? But it feels that there are groups of people on the left, especially online, who aren't really changing their mind about things like that. Liberation Day, exactly. So we were flatlining before But we'll see what happens with these tariffs. Caucasian immigrant. Shall I go on Russia's side? I'm on Russia's side, everybody. I'm trying to make friends with Russia. You think fiat money is a scam? Why do you think Labour is taking a moderate approach when they have a huge majority? As an American, this bugs me. It's like they want Biden, but Biden has a slim majority. I think because... My opinion is that Labour fears the socialist label. It fears the spendthrift label. It fears the media, despite its majority. And I think, yeah, that's been the case for a very long time. So they may have a majority, yeah. Of course they have a majority, but I don't think their majority means that they have, like, the power to dominate the narrative. They certainly don't have the will to. And I think another thing about Labour, and this also applies to the Democrats in the USA, getting elite approval, for example, balanced budget orthodoxy, getting that kind of approval is more important to them than actually helping the people and the labour movement, because they are part of the elite class and they're disconnected. So that would be my answer, honestly. A video about free economics. Oh, yeah. How not to use economic data. How not to use statistics. Just throw stuff out there. What's the, like, chewing gum and... Hey, war. Probably don't have to do anything, to be fair. But, if I'm at war with... Wait, where's the Mediterranean, guys? Hey. Mate, where actually are they? 1 second. Mediterranean. Should we upgrade all units? Army of the Mediterranean. Oh, they're there. So they have escaped. So now they can do what? Anything? They seem to gradually move over there. That's okay. It's funny because I feel like I'm in danger of being misunderstood sometimes when I critique the left on economics, because the truth is that, like, capitalism bad will get you like 60% of the way there, maybe 2/3 of the way there a lot of the time. Like, if you're talking about what, the environment, if you're talking about the way politics has been corrupted, inequality left behind communities, the political backlash from that, how that's interacted with fascism, the dominance of billionaires, that's capitalism, right? Like, it's ridiculous to say that's not capitalism, in my opinion. So, yeah. But I just think that there are a lot of people on the left who are in danger of blaming capitalism when they stub their toe. And also, it's very interesting exactly how capitalism is bad, and I feel like a lot of people don't have that much interest in that. They're just more like, they just want to say it to sound sophisticated. But that's, I mean, it's partly an online thing, it's partly a youth thing, right? People are young. Young people want a cause. Another ironclad shortage. Right, wait. How do I... Military shipyards. Yeah, but I want to... Okay. Steel hulls. They're not... Okay. Whoops. Well. That... I don't think I can build these. It wants me to build ironclads, but I can't. 1 second. Let's go to the... Shipyards. What? Why is that? It's going to use more stuff. Right, I'm going to try and build steamships in the West Country. See what happens. Maybe it'll get better. Klein and Thompson's Abundance. Man, you're the second person to ask in this stream alone. I haven't read it or even read summaries of it. I had a phase where I was like, market's bad, get rid of them, but I think you do... I think you and some reading I did change your mind to markets as a technology with good and bad applications. I think that's true, right? And I think, for me, I would say that the market in labour and the market in land, as well as the market in like capital, financial capital, are things that need like radical changes to work for people. Serious changes. And those underpin, I think, capitalism as we know it. And you could argue that if you radically overhauled the way we do labour, the way we do land, good, and the way we do money, right? Polanyi's fictitious commodities that he says aren't really commodities. They were brought into the market, but they're not commodities because they're people, nature, and money. If you really, really change those so that people aren't dependent on the market to live, then I think you are gonna move away from capitalism in a substantive sense. But in terms of like markets and other things and trade and stuff, that's not... I mean, that predates capitalism anyway. Yeah. Good. That's not doing anything. Available decisions. Oh, shit. War profiteering. Pacifists, led by Richard Cobden, are protesting against the weapons manufacturing in Lancashire. Yeah, go away. I love arms. The armed forces demand the promotion of Brigadier General George Gordon, touting his history of loyal and effective service. Yes. differentiate between pre-modern markets versus modern capitalist markets? I know there's a difference, but it's hard to articulate. Well, I think the key difference comes from the MCM prime circuit of Marx, right? So M is the initial money that you invest into an enterprise. C is the commodities that you create, and then M prime is the money that you get from selling those commodities on the market, which is hopefully higher, and then you reinvest it, right? And the M prime becomes the new M, basically, and that leads to like expansion and productivity gains. I think that's something that you didn't see very much. What you saw in the past was more of a buying cheap and selling dear thing, right? So like you would have traveled across the Silk Roads, bought some stuff in East Asia, some spices in India or whatever, brought it back to the Middle East or to Europe, and then you would have sold it for more. But there would be no enterprise to speak of. There would be no direct investment. There would be no productivity gains. Traded markets are just transporting things from one area of the world to another. And that, it doesn't have to be the Silk Roads, right? It could be like shorter areas. Smaller areas, shorter distances. But I think also what I just said, which was bringing labour into the market and bringing land into the market and bringing everything into the market, which facilitated this process, right? Because everything becomes a commodity that can be bought and sold. You can mass produce anything. You can create an enterprise for anything. You can invest in anything. Back when it was just like some dude traveling across the country to fetch something and then selling it to the locals to make a living. It was like qualitatively different. I don't think empires really increase their productivity in the same way as a capitalist firm, though, right? So you didn't have this, like, how can we convert this land or this business, this commercial enterprise, into something which can be made more productive, which can be expanded. Like the French, obviously engaged in empire, but they converted a lot of their colonies into feudal arrangements. They didn't try to make them profitable. They just converted them into feudal arrangements, which gave the French lords, the installed French lords, authority. And they surely paid tribute to the mainland, but they weren't made productive and profitable. Whereas English colonialism, British colonialism, did make things more productive for sale on the market for that purpose, and dispossess the locals, in that way. Morally, it's not clear to me that either of them were better or worse or whatever, but they certainly had very distinct effects. Fuck off. Okay, so I mean, it hasn't. So these tariffs have not tanked GDP. Standard of living, we need an election. Available decisions. Oh, what I was going to do was this. What's going on with my laws? Can't do proportional taxation. Can't restrict child labour. Propertied women. There's not a lot I can do. Right of assembly, certainly not. Slavery is banned. Public health insurance, nope. Neither private nor public schools. We've got a dedicated police force. We need to keep protectionism for the tariffs. Homestead. No, no police. Secret police. We already did that one. Professional army, national militia. Oh. Battalions can be... Oh, this is good for... This looks good. That looks good. For, yeah. The economic assumptions in Econ Sims frustrating. They often drive me mad. So, in this game specifically, what? Because from what I can remember, this game kind of brings you towards a free trade form of worker democracy or a free trade form of communism. When in time? I'm on, it's 1865. Can you not? Maybe you guys can't see. I wonder if I should, 1 second. Ooh. The display of the chat is not theme, clean, boxed. Oh, I think that's a bit better for the actually being able to see the chat, guys. Yeah. God, Russia's so big, isn't it? Construct the Suez Canal. Ah. Okay, let's see. Wait. State in Sinai. Do we need to declare an interest? Wait. How do I... Should I just give them East Anglia? Do they want the Bahamas? Does not want Bahamas. What do they want then? Guatemala. Ungrateful. Right, let's conquer the Sinai then. Mobilize armies. Come on, we're building the Suez Canal by force. I've only had 2 runs in this game, don't know it too well, but Econ Sims often have a this is the correct economic model to succeed and everything else fails. No, that's not off topic, it's completely on topic. I don't think Vicky 3 is as bad as the other ones you've probably played for that, but it does. there is still a progress, right? There's a kind of teleological element to it where you're going from the bottom one to the top one in all of these, right? Like workers' protection, and they're not always the best option, not least because there's political resistance. Like moving forward, progressing isn't always the best option, but I do think you're likely to end up at a kind of progressive... Like, this one's kind of complicated, I'd say. Mercantilism, protectionism, free trade, isolationism. Like, that's kind of interesting, because which one works best? Like, it really depends on the country, the moment in the game, how you want to play. But like this, child labour allowed to primary school. The game will push you into doing primary school because you want a more educated population. And also, as you advance, the political interest groups like the trade unions or whatever, the intelligentsia will become more prominent, and the landowners and the aristocracy and the religious groups will become less prominent. So it is kind of, it is pushing you towards being broadly progressive, I'd say. The Anti-French Association has requested that we launch a diplomatic play against France. Successfully acting on the proposal will gain our government significant goodwill from the lobby. Fine. The Birmingham Advocate, an explicitly partisan newspaper founded by members of the radical movement in Birmingham, has published its first issue. Between advertisements and political cartoons, it hosts ruthless critique of government policy. Fine. The Great Garment Factory Fire. A deadly fire has killed many workers in Yorkshire due in part to dangerous working conditions and locked emergency exits. It has been revealed that Frederick Haldane, a prominent member of the Industrialists, was the owner of the now scorched factory. I'm gonna take him to task, Frederick Haldane. I'm gonna do a bit of a Trump there. He's dead! What the fuck? We killed him! Did you see that? You guys probably didn't see that. It's below chat. I didn't mean kill him. Well, there you go. Trump's Britain. Where is my diplomatic play? Oh shit, they got the French. Uh-oh. Oh no. Okay, fine. Right, what's going on? Conscripts. Get these conscripts raised. Military wages up. Nadim, I haven't seen you in a while. It's nice to hear that you hated another one of my interviews. I don't think he thinks the CCP is more accountable. I really don't think Dan Davis thinks that. I think he was referring specifically to some of the feedback mechanisms within the economic system rather than the anything political. Oh, we need ironclads. Need ironclads, baby. The Spanish will give us... Right, okay, 1 second. Tahiti. Whoa. What? Okay, I don't know what just happened there. Shit. Alright. Do I need to go to the West Indies front? I thought I needed to go to the... Oh, here we go. Mate, I can't believe I'm at war with France. Right. We've already been at war with America. Now we're at war with France. We've also been at war with Russia and Austria. I mean, this is the Trump run. Okay. Okay. Okay, everyone. Right. Naval invasion of the Sinai. Where's my big, naval invasion? Sinai. Good. Home army. Next. Naval invasion. Sinai is already being invaded. I'm going to do the thing where I basically... So, I think I have a strategy in these, in this stuff now, in these games now. I think it's... So, what's this one? That's the Army of the West Indies. Oh, no, they're... Okay, fine. Army of the Mediterranean. Confirm. So, the... where else? Okay, these guys... I don't think I've used these guys yet. This would be a much better Trump run if I did a good Trump impression. Man, we got such low standard of living. We got nothing. Market access in Wales at 98%. Mate, Wales doesn't have market access in the real world now. You can't expect me to fix that. It's not my fault there, Welsh. Right. Man, okay. What am I doing? So, can we raise any conscripts? Yes. Only a few though. That's good though. That extra 5th army is coming together. But isn't the difference between the West and China the baseline level of growth, right? It's like, yeah, China has a big bust, but GDP growth still, I mean, I don't know what it is, but it's like close to 10%, right? So even though they go for a massive bust, it's like crazy high growth. Obviously, in the words of Obi-Wan Kenobi, my allegiance lies with democracy. No, he doesn't. He says my allegiance is with the Republic Anakin to democracy, yeah. I understand the temporary nationalisation of steel in the UK. I don't see why it's a national security issue, really. Although, I mean, at the end of the day, you can't, in a globalised world, in the type of world we live in, right? It's not like you can control every node of the production chain. even when the USA was nationalizing, not nationalizing, sorry, investing heavily in microchip production, it was like the people who were doing it were like, look, we can't do everything ourselves, clearly. National militia, close. Fuck. It's tough, it's tough. Oh, this is France. They're trying to invade. See, this is... Yeah, again, they're trying to invade India, but... See, they're going for India. They're not going for the UK. But if I can force... Again, if I can force Egypt to capitulate, I get the Suez Canal... It's quite weird that we're just not actually fighting each other. I guess that's a fairly good, accurate representation of, like, 19th century colonizers. Ritual execution of billionaires. It's the only way. Yeah. National security benefit, I think, being less that it's directly for the military and more... whether you end up depending on somebody who could be an enemy for production of goods. Like the reason the US started doing microchip was precisely because they're worried about falling out of China, right? As well as some of the issues that came to the fore during the pandemic. And because of Russia. So, Gambia, Mauritius front. 1 second. Where are all these fronts at? Ooh. Why was that? Why did that go from plus 100 to... It's kind of interesting, isn't it? They're invading all my colonies, but they're not... See, they could... Look at that. They could just come over there, right? Got barracks in Yorkshire. Building up the 5th Army. Man, we really, hopefully, will be able to do this naval invasion. I hope we're planning a decade-long conflict with France. It's about bloody time. Host an embassy. Yeah, come on, Costa Rica, we love you. Yeah, but they don't have anyone that... How is it a front that's at risk if there's no French there either? Come on. Switch on, Vicky 3. Switch on. Well, yeah, but permanently poor... Permanently perhaps a tiny bit poorer. But there's no risk of, like, completely, or less risk, I should say, of completely running out of things and things breaking. Especially if it was even worse than 2022. Mediterranean station was defeated. Oh, man. Gosh darn it. Come on. It's annoying that you can't really see them doing anything, you know what I mean? The naval... You can see them fighting the... Oh no, you can see them fighting here, but... Man. Come on, Sinai. I mean, the intellectualization of Trump, I think, is ridiculous. I've seen a lot of people do it, you know. Varoufakis is one. So, am I allowed to... One second. Coffee talk. National militia was on everyone's lips in every coffee house. Afterwards, Cecil Headlam was ready to cross the trade unions to help pass the law. Fine, let's do it, let's do it. So, I need to get this guy... You have too few flotillas. Oh, okay, that's actually not a good idea. Fine. Wait a second. So let's... Why don't we... Whoa. Okay. You guys go... there. Okay, they're still trying to launch a naval invasion. Okay, so it's only those guys have been defeated. We'll send them over there. That's a good idea. Because otherwise they're just doing nothing. Plymouth Station defeated as well. Oh dear. Maybe these naval invasions were a bad idea. Or some of them. I've missed your insane questions, Nadim. What are we doing? Military. Let's do more military. They call naval base, max level, repeaters, hand crank machine gun. Oh, enlistment officers. Oh, that's a good one. Let's do this whole layer. Get the military up to speed. Pundits intellectualizing Trump. Yeah, I don't know. Like, Varoufakis has written quite a few things about this, and he's spoken about this, about how Trump's trying to... has this plan to stop the USA being the reserve currency of the world. Which, I mean, maybe that bit's right, but it's not going to work for a start. It's too difficult to actually do. Especially the way Trump's going about it. And secondly, I think that's going to be really bad for US consumers, because the US dollar being the reserve currency of the world is the basis for their massive levels of imports, their massive levels of material consumption. Because the dollar is so guaranteed, treasuries are just like wanted across the world. There's no danger of investors or other countries panicking and freaking out and dumping the dollar, and therefore, you know, creating problems for them to being able to pay their debts. I feel like Varoufakis is kind of losing it. Yeah, I get that feel. I just saw a Joseph Stiglitz clip about how he's had talks with people trying to do negotiations with Trump, and how they are terrified because he doesn't seem to have a theory behind his econ policies. So I guess not everybody's trying to intellectualize Trump, and he's doing 40 shit. Look, Trump is senile. Obviously, like Biden, right? Like, it's just that Biden made him look relatively less senile. But Biden was kind of, what is the category? Biden was like, lawful chaotic or whatever. Trump's evil chaotic. The British-American Friendship Committee has declared that we declare a rivalry with Spain. Spain is a known opponent of American interests. Maybe, whatever. Varoufakis isn't losing it. He's trying to sell books. I mean, yeah, that's fair. A demonstration organised by the Catholic Rights Movement in Yorkshire has been violently dispersed by police, leading to severe fatalities and serious injuries. Memories of the incident are becoming a rallying cry for dissidents. Well, for Catholic rights, I think we... Oh, but we need the approval of the armed forces, so... Yeah, that was a tricky one. You don't think the USA has abused their sanctioning power? You think the other countries will dump the dollar at some point? It would take a lot, like... Because my mate... I mean, I've read a few people on this. Adam Tooze, Nathan Tankus. The volume of financial transactions that the US dollar is used in across the globe is pretty astonishing. The clause is coming to a town. The petite bourgeois and armed forces are jockeying for minor but favouring concessions regarding national militia. Supporters of Simon Armour are calling for a resolution without successions. Yeah, I don't care, man. Got a fucking war to fight. Don't care about your bickering. The petite bourgeois. Should I let this petite bourgeois... Yeah, price of progress. Fuck off, Wales. Take the Sinai. Cause without a rebel. Mate. Man, I don't know. Think we're doing well beefing up this enlistment officers. I've got too much going on here. Classic paradox. His idea of techno-feudalism. So... It's kind of correct in that the big tech companies do own a lot of infrastructure, digital and physical and financial as well. Amazon has advertising services, its search engine. You know Amazon's search engine is the main competitor to Google. That's how often people use Amazon for search. It's like the second most used search engine. It's crazy. But oh, enlistment officers, right? Let's conscript some people then, right? Can we conscript more people? So like, and like, yeah, credit facilities. Obviously, their logistics, their manufacturing facilities. It's like, it's crazy how much you have to use Amazon. So you do have to pay fealty to the Amazon empire as you would have to an old feudal lord. And, you know, Varoufakis is very eloquent. I like listening to him on this. Peace deal proposed. White peace. No, fuck off. I ain't doing peace. I haven't even got the Sinai yet. So... however, I don't particularly like it when people kind of invent new names for a system. As far as I'm concerned, it's just capitalism, right? Like, okay, so do the train companies... Are the train companies a new kind of feudalism? Because you, like, have to use the trains for certain things. Like, no, it's just a monopoly, right? That's like what we call, you know, all these terms start becoming meaningless. We've had monopolies in capitalism before. There are lots of things people have to use. And that monopolies at one time or another have owned those things. So why call it that thing feudalism? Rail feudalism. Is that what we had in the Gilded Age? I mean, maybe Varoufakis would say yes. I don't fucking know. I don't see the need for a new term. I'll tell you who's good on this. Cecilia Rycap. Oh, whoops. Spelled her name wrong. Cecilia? Do I know how to spell Cecilia? Maybe that's it. I don't. LLMs are, yeah, they make shit up. I'm not a massive fan of AI. What's that? Did you see that thing about when it was making up sayings? Too many. There's actually quite a big army now. It's a decent sized army. Fuck me. Guest appearance on If Books Could Kill. Ha! They don't have guests, do they? I could do Thomas Sowell. Be like, what? What, so Michael, yeah. So it'd be like, Michael, what do you know about a book called Basic Economics? And then Michael would say, all I know is that I'm about basic bitch economics. I think that's actually pretty accurate. I know them too well. It is literally my favourite podcast. It's the only one that I will listen to every episode of, like, within about 48 hours of it coming out. There's merit to MMT. Yeah, of course. I mean, it's right in its description of the financial system, right? Of how... Am I still doing this naval invasion? This is crazy. Is there anything I can do to, like, speed this up? So, yeah, MMT is... I always get asked about MMT. It's right in a lot of things. I don't really align with the MMTers for some academic and political reasons that don't really matter, to be honest. The London Citizens Association. Yeah, come on. Just fucking enact this. This is the stage. I'd say about 2 hours into any Paradox game, the sound of the notification starts to grate me, and I, like, stop making real decisions. We are going to... Right. Man. This is close. Right? This is very close. Well, obviously they're antagonistic. Oh. Okay. Oh, geez. Okay. I do think Amazon's a dominant monopoly. I just don't know if it's a feudal lord. Like, so, the most obvious point to me is that under feudalism you would produce something, right? Food, mostly. And the Lord would take it from you. That's what, like, any fucking analysis of capitalism, especially Marxist analysis, will distinguish that capitalism from feudalism that way. Because under capitalism, the produce belongs to the capitalist and then they pay you, right? Whereas under feudalism, it belongs to you and then it's appropriated. So that, how does that apply? I mean, I haven't read Techno-Feudalism. I've only listened to Varoufakis talk about this. Everything is everything. No, I haven't. Is that a podcast? Indian Libertarians. Is it your podcast, Nadim? America in for a recession? Yeah, sure. Why not? Why not? If it continues this way. Why does it say that I've got 0 anything? Well, I'm kind of confused. I think I am gonna... No, I want the Sinai. Mate, this is crazy. This war's running for so long. Give me... I need to tax more things. What can I get most for? See, luxury furniture with the least impact. Yeah, okay, fine. May as well. This naval invasion is taking so long. Is this morale? We now have national militia. Oh, good. Well, that's done. I feel like I just saved a bit of money. Somehow. I think we're going to expel the French here. Look at that. French trying to... The following... So France has just fucked off. Right, okay. Now, in a pro-suffrage gesture, Cecil Headlam has released a positive endorsement of the Chartist Party for its stalwart support of voting rights in British Republic. It's a YouTube show. Oh, okay. You're Bangladeshi. Oh, sorry, you are Bangladeshi. So I knew that. For God's sake. I can't, why is this taking so long? Right, okay, 1 second. Right. Go away with your peace deals. Why is the 5th British Army all of a sudden... Why does that only have 11 battalions? Did they just try to attack me? Did I just miss them attacking me? Oh, good thing I built that up, right? They thinned out our ranks so our budget's not as bad. Okay, can we plan some kind of naval invasion? Select fleet. 44. And who are, I mean, they've only got 11, so the Home Army and the Portsmouth Station are... Five out of 20. There's only... Okay, the Mediterranean. Can I invade? I mean, these... It does seem like... Palestine is relatively well... I have too few... Yeah, no, that sucks. That sucks. There's no point. But I'll try this other one. I mean, I don't know if that's gonna... Fuck. Got an election coming up. Come on. Whoa. Alright, guys. Go on in. Army of India can go to the Maritimes front. Oh, they're done. Man, this is tough. This. I mean, it's not. Obviously, we'll just try again, but Plymouth Station. We don't have very much morale for the war, do we? Credit where credit's due. Credit the industrialists, yeah. This is insane how long this is going on for. Can we get a... Oh, we've got a contested government only. Good. Default. God's sake. No. I'm going to take fucking Sinai. Yeah, I do, yeah. It's obviously new and they are monopolies, but like it's also not feudalism. I don't know. But yeah, obviously he just is selling books, right? 1 British fleet, 3 Egyptian armies. I mean, there's a lot of Egyptian armies there. You know what? I actually... Why are there two... Why? Ah. Man, what? That's crazy. I've got so many conscripts. Wait a second. Can I conscript people while I'm fighting? Home army. Oh, I can't. Can I? Wait, I can. Wait, why is that not... Oh, that's the 1st Columbia Army. That's why I can't... Army of the Mediterranean. Why can I conscript so many people all of a sudden? Mate, this is crazy. You're better off conscripting people from there, right? I don't know if this is gonna make a difference. Like, if you're conscripting while you're fighting, is the amount gonna go up as they, like, arrive? Or is it, like, I don't know. I think the right-wing saying Australia is more right-wing than America is, like, economically, I think Australia is more, like, they got, like, a higher minimum wage, a bigger welfare state, right? Socially, difficult to say. So that is going up. Oh, dearie me. Are we actually going to win a battle now? Yes. Untrained hands, children working. No, come on. More children working. The rich and unstable political environment's proven attractive to political... No, we're not letting them in. Private inflammatory letters written by a member of the British-French Friendship Committee have been leaked to the national newspaper. French officials have taken... Mate, fuck France. We just beat them in India. We'll beat them elsewhere as well. Rubber's getting discovered everywhere. I don't care. The parallels to feudalism is that this techno land that should be public is private. Kids born today need to watch their words, actions, etc. to not displease their lords. They have to produce for them to live in this world, i.e. doctors producing TikToks or YouTube shorts to have an online presence. Even if you don't, they profit from selling your data, and there's no alternative. I mean, I don't know, like... What's the feudal equivalent of profiting from selling your data? And I'm not sure I entirely agree that you have to produce YouTube, like, online content to survive, right? I don't think that's true. I know people who are pretty offline. Man. Okay, good. So... Can I... Is there anything I can do? Home army. Oh man, that's... Oh, that's... Man, what? Why is... Promote him as well. Fucking hell. I'm an idiot. Right. Had such low organisation there. As well as not enough battalions. No wonder nothing was happening. Boiler explosion, price of progress. No foreign interference. Man, this is crazy. Okay. Fickle crowd. Yeah, go away, trade unions. I will get the fucking Sinai. I agree that personal data is maybe a type of commons that has been enclosed, but if capitalism began with the enclosure of the commons, right? Because then you're just arguing that that's feudalism. My issue is calling it feudalism. It's not like any of the arguments about the dominance of these trade companies. My issue is why label it feudalism? Because then any enclosure of the commons is feudalism. So capitalism is feudalism because capitalism is defined by the private enclosure of the commons, right? By, you know, one way or another. Man. We're getting some good military technologies here. I know you want peace, Egypt, but you're not going to get it. War with Nama uprising has broken out. I mean that, yeah, they're not gonna win. Mate, what is with all these fucking oh bloody hell, that didn't last long, did it? All these colonies getting ideas. Yeah, I don't know. I just... But again, like somebody said earlier, you know, he's got to sell books. When you've got it on 5, there's too much going on. Foreign investment rights in Haiti. Yeah. Yeah, baby. Mate, this is taking so long. How... I think we're like... We're gaining. We're gaining. Crush Nama succession. Good. Oh dear. Deary me. One second. Too many. Yeah, fine. We want the police to be anti-French. I cannot believe how slow this is. I think intellectual property feudalism feeds into tech feudalism, right? If it's a thing, I'd say that they're quite intertwined. I mean, I agree on copyright. I want to return to reduced copyright. Oh, dearie me. Why would they even bother? There you go. So funny. I can't believe how long this is taking. I know I keep saying that. I can't believe you committed suicide. I haven't watched the Neil Breen film in too long. So like 3 months. Ironclads was successfully completed. Oh, good. Doctrine of Iron and Steam. Yes. Fucking hell. Lame. Whatever. Whoa, 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 whoa. Did our naval invasion fail? Okay. 1 second, everybody. Plan a naval invasion of a state. The Sinai. Army of the Mediterranean. Plymouth Station. Futile. One second. So Plymouth Station needs to have an upgraded. Upgrade this shit. So that they're. See, why? Was it Plymouth that needed to? So these guys plan a naval invasion of the Sinai with the home army. Too few floated. Yeah, no. We don't have anywhere near enough. Wait, it's Portsmouth. Sorry, it was Portsmouth. That's what confused me. See, why have these guys not been promoted? They've been doing good work, from what I hear. Get those guys promoted. Armed forces. That looks good for a naval invasion. He won't get promoted just yet. Naval invasion. Sinai. Select army. Still have too few flotillas. Well, I guess that makes sense, right? We'll do it anyway. Delay the invasion and invade with double the troops. Yeah, you're probably right, actually. Oh, well, it's too late now. Thing is, the grand plan pays off. Tory party. Oh, mate. Reduce the interest rates 100%. British public is in default due to not being able to pay back our loans. We will suffer penalties. Oh shit. That's so bad. Alright, call off the naval invasion. Call off the naval invasion. Alright, let's wait for them to... We'll do a white peace. We'll do a white peace. Fine. Hard work and hard workers. I don't know. Are we actually in default? Oh shit, we are in default. Should we declare bankruptcy? That's so annoying. Alright, everybody. Relatively lenient British immigration system has long been attractive to those fleeing their home nations. Recently, Simon Park has petitioned to join the stream of people moving to the British Republic. No, yeah, fuck him. He's foreign. The limited political resources of the landed gentry have made the group's leadership question its membership in both the Anti-French Association... Man. Yeah, whatever. Man, that's crazy. There's default. The consequences of default are crazy. Alright, let's go, yeah. Oh, we can go with peace. Fine. Wait, did they get something out of that? Oh, that's annoying. That's as good as we can do. Fine. Right, things are pretty tight now. But, yeah. We'll keep going. I think we, Lower Canada left the British Empire. Hey! Get back. So all we can do is really... I'll tell you what we actually can do. Which might be sensible. Mutual funds, that. And those. Some of these capacities. This is kind of anti-Trumpian, but at the same time, it's necessary, right? We'll get that kind of stuff. And various economic benefits. I think Keir Starmer's deregulated some of the zoning regulations, but he's not done very much. We can probably... Yeah, let's squeeze the population a little bit less than we were. We're actually sort of paying off the credit. So I do want to invade the Sinai eventually. Okay, fine. Man, what is happening to my bureaucracy? Appointed bureaucrats, elected bureaucrats. What would this give us? I mean, we need... I'm going to do that for the purposes of actually playing the game okay, because we kind of need that. Man, look at all that. This is Trump. This is the Trump effect. Bureaucracy negative, authority negative, influence negative. Don't even have a good supply network. That makes sense. The budget's positive. But we are massively in debt, so bear that in mind. Someone just broke it into... Oh, what the hell? Hey, construction sector's more efficient. All of a sudden. Or faster, at least. Why is the government construction not going ahead? What's going on there? Why is that? Oh, while it's in default. When do we stop being in default? Is it this? What are the rules around default? Mate, they'll capitulate. What are the rules around default? I've never been in default before. Oh, look. Product for X. Cause without a rebel. Exile him. No, sets a bad precedent. Fine. So how does default work here? Rousing speech? Good. Come on. Let's get elected bureaucrats. I do think my massive military is costing me quite a lot. Like the Navy as well. Socialism unlocked. Yay. We can't pursue socialism though. That's not Trumpian enough. Reactionary movement. Go away. Whoa. The storm approaches. Okay, we don't need to worry about that. I think we're close to getting elected bureaucrats. War with now, mate. These guys will not give up. Bless them. I can let private queue go to build. Why is it paused? It is building, right? Increasing export value. Ooh, I don't even know what that... Okay, fine. Good. But what how do I get to a situation where I'm not defaulting? Hunt down every member. Disperse the crowds by force, etc., etc. Remaining credit. So I might. Is it only when I get over there? When I get under that? When that goes to 0, right? Just get this through. Okay. See, I thought that... Should that not be going down? But it's kind of hopping around. That's food. Oh, God. Reduce progress of civil war. I mean, we'll win the civil war, but... It's just like all this information that pops up on the screen. It's like so-and-so exiled from some shit. It's just like I don't fucking know what that means. Alright, whatever. Man. Greater wages. We will not capitulate. Yep, come on. It's close. I mean, we're not... Yeah. $43.3 mil. Heavy-handedness. Stand down, Richard. Okay. Just wait. I really want to invade Egypt. Did he smash his head into the cell wall? Was he tortured to death? Oh, God. We are very close to civil war now. I'm going to mobilize this army. Uh-oh. Come on. We can do it. Netherlands sides with the British Reactionary Revolt. Hello. You fucking snakes. Come on, Prussia. Prussia sides with us. What about these guys? Call ally. We can't use that one. I don't think we got enough. Yeah. So, make an example of them. Oh, that was, mate, that was a while ago, like. Hey, which, where's my armies at? Which ones did they get? I love being in default and civil war. This is the realistic experience though, right? Man, but I'm in the, like, construction sector plays with my budget, right? Hi. Okay. Let them fight. Yeah, promote. Yay! Elected bureaucrats. Oh, thank God we got some bureaucracy back. Man, why is that? I like the guys with special orders. I know that's probably a noob way to play it, but I just like it. Okay, so leave me alone. The Netherlands. Yeah, these guys aren't winning. Okay. Let's Army of India. Man. These guys, there's not very many of them. Ah. Army of the Mediterranean. We'll take these guys to... Yeah, I think with... I think with all of our allies, we'll probably be alright, but... It is costly. It's fucking costly. We're paying down the principal, right? Anti-vax was a bit of a hippie thing. Yeah, I remember it being a hippie thing, Nadim. I think that's true. Yeah. But also, it's like, surely unfair to split things into left and right and say that one fringe group of people is representative of, like, the entire left. Same way it is with the right. Also, left-wing anti-vax stuff never got anywhere, whereas right-wing anti-vax stuff is actually making inroads. Man, everyone's in default. Who's getting all the money? It's probably the bloody rich, isn't it? Again. Okay, so wait. Okay, so this... The 5th British, the Army of India. This is at Ulster. Okay, so these are all deployed. Okay, fine. I think we're okay. Just cannot make sense of all the movement here. I don't think they're going to win. We've just got too much going on. You liked my most recent interview? Oh, Dan Davies. Yeah, that'll be uploaded to this channel, like kind of fully with the sound sorted and an intro and everything. No war goal. Okay, the Netherlands have capitulated. Shock. Now you'll feel the pain. Bloody British revolters. Travelling to West Indies front. Okay, I think they're just gonna... What's gonna happen is they're just gonna clear up a little bit now. Look at that. I mean... Right, that's done. And now, literally everybody's going to converge on the Ulster front. The Munster, sorry, not Ulster. Rubber run. Yep, go on. Good. The following war goals were enforced on the British Reactionary Revolt. Annex British Reactionary Default. Yes. There you go. Just because we have bloody elected representatives. 6th British Army. This is a new one. Look at this guy. Promote this guy. 6th British Fleet. And there's more going on here. 7th British Fleet. Promote this guy. 8th British Army. Great. Oh dear. Okay. Low training rate. Right, let's get living standards back to somewhere normal. Expensive. Glass. Let's import some glass. We've got the bureaucracy. We've got the bureaucracy. Ironclads. Can we import ironclads? Nobody's really making them. Ammunition. We'll import ammunition even at cost. That's not very Trumpian, to be fair. I do. Why is that low maximum organisation? It's not. Mate, look at all the fucking notifications. Paradox. Is this a game or is this just like my emails? Fucking Paradox. Paul Mitchell has taken to the streets encouraging Irish people to take less conventional means of democracy in order to support the Chartist Party. I don't know, we need a legitimate government. Claims that the Chartist Party's policy of extensive money loaning has saddled future generation with an undue burden, caused the party to leak voters like a faulty sieve. Loans are a cornerstone, yeah, we love loans. Okay, we are now paying down the investment pool with relatively sane levels of taxation and expenditure. We will invade, we just need to, yeah. Vulnerable front, is that, well, they're all travelling to the fronts, right? We ended up with a few new armies. I think they're just the annexed. Okay, we've still got quite a lot going on here. But this is a separate thing, right? We got the British Civil War to capitulate. Mate, we're just constantly at war. This is crazy. Thank God. Got that one. What I want to know is why... Is it my... Ah, that was an accident. Okay. They keep trying to rebel, all these colonies. Merge the army. Yeah, I'll merge the armies, yeah. Fine. Merge. How do you merge them? Okay, yeah, you just disband them, right? And then... Actually, to be fair, the 6th one's quite sizable. We'll keep the 6th one. We've got 6 now, that's good. Election results. Have we got we got a decent government, right? Contested, but decent. Oh my god. War. Everywhere. Okay. Munitions. We need new munitions plants, right? Fertilizers. Use fertilizers. Oh, we're not even... Well, we may as well switch that. Munitions plants. Oh my god. Again. Building registry. Arms industries. Good. They're having trouble hiring. Unwilling to hire. We'll expand those ones because, yeah, a bit better. Has Trumpism polarized me into becoming more free trade? Yeah, I mean, I always had political support for free trade more than anything, so that's why one reason I was in favour of Remain. And why I kind of favoured Krugman's 90s arguments about free trade. I wasn't 100% sure about the efficiency gains, and I have a lot of issues about how trade deals are actually conducted, which I'm not convinced are exactly free, because they usually do things like expand intellectual property rights or let companies sue governments. But you know, in a word, yes, I think it's made me care about it more. It's increased the intensity of the preference, but not the preference itself. So, yeah, they are travelling to that front, so we'll be before too long. Come on, mate. Where are these guys? Oh, they're all coming. Look. The cavalry are literally coming. You guys are not going to do well now. Come on. That's it. That's it. 94. 94. They're getting battered now. Look at that. Look at their troops dwindle to 0. Face the might of the British Empire and be crushed. Come on. Right. Oh no, that's okay. I see what that is. That's going to take a. It's going to take a minute. Civilizing mission. Hopefully the budget improves when I win this war. It's going to take a second. There we go. And again. Yeah, that's gonna... Yes! Thank God. Okay, we are no longer at war. Oh, thank God, the budget. Right. Okay, good. Try and pay down the principal. Are we still in default? Right. I've got to go. But next time, we will get the Suez Canal, I'm telling you. We will get it. We will get it. Exit to desktop. Okay, thanks for joining, everybody. Had some interesting chats. Fought some interesting wars. Fucking hell. That was so intense.